Hey guys, before we get started, just want to say a big thanks. Like, share, and subscribe on the channel. And hope you enjoy this episode of the Roo Talk podcast. We saw last week, I talked about draft picks. Hey, we've got some good ones. And now we're going to talk about what we can do with those in the trade period, in the draft, who we should be looking for. If not a direct player, what type of position we need, because we need a lot of them. It looks like at the moment we're going to be getting rid of 8 to 10 players. Well, we already have got rid of 8 to 10 players. We're going to need 8 to 10 spots filled. So I think we're going to have a fun time. At least North Melbourne is going to be active, which is what we want, especially when we've been on the bottom of the ladder for so long. Hope you enjoy. This is what I want from North Melbourne this trade period. If you have a look at the team dynamic, actually, let's kind of go over who's leading at the moment. We've lost Cunnington, we've lost Zeeble, Aaron Hall's gone. We all know those players. But in the trade period, in the free agency market, Ben Mackay's gone off to Essendon. Hopefully we get a pick 3. And then Todd Goldstein's also gone there as well. So Brad Scott's trying to get all the oldies back together. He did that at North Melbourne, and obviously picking up all these fringe type players really, really helped them and really helped us get into the final series, didn't it? So good luck to him. What that does, though, is it really makes a few holes in the team. We're desperate for some key backs. We've lost 2 or 3 players down there, plus Griffin Logue. I don't believe we've kind of got the defenders to cover that. So Mackay's gone. Griffin Logue's out for a while. I think he probably comes back late August or something like that. Jack Zeeble's gone as well. Aaron Hall's gone. We need help in that back line, especially from the tall department. Yes, we've got Dawson. Hopefully he turns out to be the player that we all hope he does, especially because our success in the mid-season draft hasn't really come across yet. But key defenders on the list. I think we need some help in the midfield as well. We need that run and dash, and we need a winger. Looking at who's kind of being linked to North at the moment, we're desperate. Well, look to who's been kind of linked to North Melbourne at the moment. It's Zach Fisher and Dylan Stevens. 2 players who, on a good day, can play a fantastic role for North Melbourne. Stevens on the wing, loves the run up and down, up and down. You think, hey, Jay, who's this player, Stevens? Why do we want a reject from Sydney? Well, if you've played a few games, you were pick 5 at one point, and you stuck behind Errol Goulden for a wing job. Like, you know, I wouldn't be mind stuck behind the guy that scored, 41 disposals in his last game of senior footy for the year, outside of the final series, of course. If we can get him across, looks like we're going to get him for probably pick in the 30s or 40s because he is that fringe player. We've got the PSD pick 1, or pick 2. I think we'll get him across for pretty cheap. If we look at Zach Fisher as well, similar situation. 2 years left to run at Carlton, but isn't in their best 22. We can basically guarantee him a position off the halfback. And if you look at his scoring over the last few games of the season, when he did play in that position, he did quite well. Run and carry, run and pace. Can kind of, I think his footy smarts are a bit underrated. There's a pretty cool video that's coming out of his highlights in round 21. I'll see if I can link it down below. Just something that we're looking for off that halfback. It frees up Sheasel to do a lot more in that position as well, which is kind of what we're looking for. What else do we need in the trade period? Well, I think a ruckman's something that we desperately need. We've only got Cherry. We've only got Goldstein. Well, not even Goldstein. We've only got Cherry and Hamish Free. We've lost Goldstein. So 2 ruckman just doesn't cut it. We need 2 or 3 more. Hopefully, we don't have to resort to the trade, resort to the draft, but we'll see what happens there. I think we need another key forward, someone to help out Larkey in the forward line. If not the most dominant player, we're not going to bring in Tex Walker, but someone to take another defender off him. There was a few situations this year where Larkey was the easy target to get, double teamed or even triple teamed in that forward line because there was no one else to really take on the intercept defenders. So if we can get someone who's a bit mobile, who can take that player off, it will not only help Larkey, but it will also help the other forward line players as well. We've got 4 other positions, potentially 5 down there, bench players, of course, who can make some space, who can kick some goals and not have to cover someone with that. So they're my 2 at the moment. I'd love a small forward, but I don't think there's any that are going to be able to trade for, at least for not what we're willing to spend, unless it's a fringe player who's going to leave. But doesn't look like there's many. McAdam's already nominated Melbourne, so he's not coming to us. I'd love some help in the defense line there. We've lost Hall, we've lost Zeeble, Ben Mackay's gone, Griffin Logue's out for a while. So That's potentially 3 or 4 guys in that back line who were playing best 22 footy for us throughout at least parts of the year. So it's a big loss. What I love about it, though, is it really gives us the potential to reform a lot of that back line and turn it into something we want. It's not like, oh, a player is gone, we're coming in and we're just putting another player like for like in. We can really change the dynamic of the back line. I know North Melbourne's been linked to Nick Haynes. Potentially we can come in and nab that type of player. And, at least in Nick Haynes' case, GWS salary dump, maybe we can turn a pick in our teams into one of their first round picks as well. So I think they might have pick 7 or something like that, which would be fantastic. North end up 2, 3, and 7. Hey, I'll take that any day of the week. Darcy Gardner might be one as well that potentially we can throw a future first at. Say, hey, Brisbane, this guy's looking for more opportunities. We can play him every week. He did all right in that semi-final game that got them into the grand final. Maybe we can use him in that position as well. Hopefully a couple of others who were there will come across to North Melbourne. So what do we need? Key forward, small forward, but I don't think we need him. Some more role players would be fantastic. Guys who can actually play, and more guys in that demographic of 23 to 26, 27 would be great. And key defenders, of course. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hopefully we can bring those players in. Now, leading on from that, what do I want from North in the draft? Well, it's kind of a double whammy episode, but, 2 birds, 1 stone, 1. I want us to use picks 2 and 3 to come in, potentially trade for pick 1. If that's available, fantastic. I don't want to give up pick 2 and 3. So let's pretend that we didn't. No Harley Reid, no worries. We need to set up for the future. North Melbourne has been gifted pick 2 and 3 last year. Sheasel and Woodlaw, bloody fantastic. The year before that, bloody fantastic as well. Let's keep that momentum going. I want Nick Watson to pick 2 or 3. Fantastic small forward. Electric, exciting is what we need. Someone to break lines, someone to be there. Pretend Charlie Cameron, Papley, well, maybe not Ginnivan, but Elliott or Bobby Hill in our forward line. North Melbourne hasn't had that type of player since Lindsay Thomas. We're desperate for it. If you look at the other early draft pick we have, I really think we need to go after someone in the defence. I think it will really help us. At least go in there and get that developing player. Yes, there's people later on, but defence is the spot to go. If not in the defence, then someone in that kind of half forward to midfield role who can run and carry. I'm looking at your Josh Kelly types. McKercher, I think, might be the one that we have to go for if he's available, if we don't trade up for Harley Reid. Now, let's pretend that we haven't swapped or done anything with our 2 picks in the teens, and we're not going to really go and pick that many with the other picks because we've traded for fringe players. I think we need to go after a ruckman. There's Edwards there. There's a couple of other guys who can fill that role for us, and I really do think we need to go for a defender. The last couple of years, we have brought in a lot of forwards and a lot of mids, but we haven't really got any of those really good developing players. Someone who can come in maybe 2025 after a full year of VFL footy. We're really desperate for that type of player. We'll hopefully get that. Now let's look at the other picks. Let's pretend we haven't got rid of, picks in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I know commenters are going to say, hey, Big J, Braden George, we don't have a second round pick, but you know what I mean, those other picks, right? Purge the state leagues. We need to do it. There's a lot of very good players who are mature ages, who can play roles for us, who can be fantastic slot players. Darcy Gardner did it for Brisbane. Petty used to do it for Melbourne, and now he plays best 22. There's opportunities there for us. Werriby's done fantastic. Poach some of their players. Waffle players, the Waffle's this bloody gold mine. Look for what we need in the ruck department, in the key defender department. The best thing about key defender state league players is their bodies are ready to go. They can generally play a full game of footy, and we don't have to wait for years of development. It's a position that we need. Werribee, Williamstown, Waffle players, the sky's the limit with what we can do. And there always seems to be these 1 or 2 guys that just do fantastic for us or do fantastic for other teams. Why can't we have that at North Melbourne this year? Let me know in the comments kind of who do you think we should go for specifically or what type of player? Because I don't think many of us here are draft experts, but we've watched North Melbourne for the whole year. We know kind of what we're looking for. that's episode 2 of Roo Talk, covering the draft and the trade period this year. Hopefully we can see you in the next one. I think as the players come in, I'll start doing some more videos from that as well. Stay tuned for what's on the channel. It's going to be a great off-season. Catch you in the next one.